Warning, this program may contain visuals that might offend sensitive viewers. Parental guidance is advised.
This is an SABC News presentation.
Last week, Cutting Edge showed you the appalling conditions under which Putco's commuters are made to travel daily. They allege that if the buses are not late, then they get stuck or are overloaded. But just how safe are these buses?
If you look at, maybe you're trying to make out a smoke out of it. But if you look at this smoke, it's surprising because it's going to the front. The engine is at the back, the smoke cannot go to the front. So okay. I don't understand. But
no.
If you tell me something out of it.
I mean, if you can see the flames are there where you say the engine is. So I don't know. But in any event, if you make out nothing out of it.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I was seeing it as smoke.
The flames are where the engine is, where you are saying the engine is. You have a lot of buses that have caught combustion on their own.
A lot of buses.
Among the mapas are Putco well. Imvula mainet. Aba waterfall. Abantu ba vula ama umbrella maphakathi ebhasini.
This is Wallet Khumalo. He is currently unemployed and volunteers as the chairperson for the Greater Soweto Commuters Forum. He says the underwhelming service Putco gives them is nothing new.
I'm a breakdance now. Sitshela ukuthi nge-turnaround strategy labazoyenza kuzoba ne-improvement. Into ka-2014 lento engikhuluma ngayo. ISoweto nje iyodwa. Amabhasi a-under breakdown astakile kwa-Putco. Bebebala 148.
According to Khumalo, waiting for a bus at the bus stop will not get you anywhere.
Abantu baze basuke bayolanda ibhasi eDepho. Ngenxa yokuthi mabamele bamise lapha ebus stop, iyozibasusa akekho umuntu ozoba attend. Kumele nize neDepho nakhona ukuthi niyocela ibhasi nodemand ibhasi. Ngokuthi mansathi niyolicela iyonikezwa abanye abazodima abazokuthi amabhasi awekho.
Bayaphuma manje bayahlika ibhasi yahamba ibuyele emuva sinabhasi
kwenzeka ukuthiwani
kuthiwa ibhasi uthi lo driver kanabhasi uzodropa nje labantu yahamba khona manje fanele simele ibhasi esingayazi sizoba late emsebenzini
cela ngibonise
Putco a hlomphe maikutlo batho wa notse o gutlela ko morao and no tshwantse a tsamaya for ways a re ise mosebetsing and re nkile di-tag nenne re lo fihla late mosebetsing as ne ntse re tsho from phase 4 ra sokola kana le bothata ka Putco
le tla etsa jwang no
re tla be ra lo fihla mosebetsing late a o ka mokgomong
banendaba nemali yama-commuters le ebhadalwayo hayi nama-commuters yiko ngeke uze uthole ngisho nebhasi labo lelamathikithi listakile benza sure ukuthi liyothengisa amathikithi right on time likoleka imali maliqedele kumele lesha abantu listake lona linga-operate
ulinde isikhathi esingakanani manje ulinde ibhasi
mhlawumbe 30 minutes 1 hour 30 minutes thatha isikhathi kwesikhathi yangena kwesikhathi ayingeni
service yakho is very poor too much if the driver ya leaving I want to driver replace am go you have to suffer because of driver leaving and people are late missing almost every bus is stuck you have to wait they are already missing the bus idea media fate like right now bus in the parliament stuck go zone 2 that's the other one so to win.
Ufika emsebenzini nabelungu nabo bayalo abayi-accept le ndaba ukuthi ulate ngalepi yabona njalo nje ngoba le ndaba yebhasi indaba yezolo besidla nanamhlanje futhi bacabangani bona.
If the service is so bad, why not opt for another mode of transport?
Si-advantage yebhasi ukuthi uthola ibhasi for instance uya eSandton, uya eGrammerville, uya boma-Carset, uya boma-Randburg, uya boma-Midrand. Kunebhasi mhlambe lisuka boma-Protein eliya lapho straight. Unlike uzosuka ngitekisi into abantu bahlushwa indaba yama-queues. Uzosuka lana aqueuile ekuseni, ajiye futhi oqueua futhi edrobheni. Agcina kuhambeka isikhathi eside uyofika emsebenzini. Kanti ibhasi futhi uyazi ukuthi uspenda kayi-1 ngenyanga. Unfortunately akwenzeki ukuthi uspende ka-1 ngenyanga because uma ugcwalisa i-take apart kumele ube ukuthi unemali espare for amateksi mangayibhasi lingezanga of which into eyenzakala njalo.
On the 18th of July, another Putco bus was reported to have caught fire in the Pretoria CBD. After the break, we put Putco in the hot seat.
What are you making out of this?
I don't know. Well, I mean, you tell me what you make out of that.
After requesting an interview with Putco, we were directed to Battalion Communications, a company that does Putco's PR. They promised us we'd be able to get answers from none other than Putco's MD, Franco Pasapia. We were not surprised on the morning of the interview when we were told he had suddenly taken ill. We'd have to get our answers from Stephen Dimba, Soweto's operations manager at Putco.
And I mean, I want you to have a look at this. I don't know if you can guarantee the safety of people on that bus, but seeing an image like that, what do you say to your commuters?
I don't understand the picture, maybe.
Oh, I'll show you again.
Okay. What are you making out of this?
I don't know. Well, I mean, you tell me what you make out of that.
No, I cannot tell because if you look at maybe you're trying to make out a smoke out of it, but if you look at this smoke, it's surprising because it's going to the front. The engine is at the back. The smoke cannot go to the front. So I don't understand. But
No.
if you tell me something out
No,
of
I
it,
mean, if you can see the flames are there where you say the engine is. So I don't know. But in any event, if you make out nothing out of it.
no, I'm not. I'm saying I was
But
seeing
you
it
can
as
see the
smoke.
flames are where the engine is, where you are saying the engine is. So I mean,
Yeah, I doubt if a bus was catching fire or if a bus was set alight.
No,
That's what I'm saying. Sometimes it happened. In some instances that we've just picked it up recently, it's happening with the municipality, what do you call it? Mother protest. We've got a lot of buses that have banned because of the protest.
do you have a lot of buses that have caught combustion on their own?
A lot of buses.
Can we just go there, Mr. I mean, I understand the line of question. I'm just not. Can we get clarity in the picture? Because I mean, you can't just give us a picture and say what do you make of this. So, if you can make.
Can I get back to you as to where it was taken? Can I give you facts of it?
Sure.
Okay. Is that okay?
No, sure. I'm just look.
No, I understand
I
where
respect
you
the
come.
question. I'm simply saying it's not fair for you to say here's an image. What do you make of it?
Sure.
If you give us context, then we can respond.
No. What I was saying, what I was going to is, what can you say in terms of guaranteeing? Can you still, when you see things like this, can you still guarantee your passenger's safety?
But then we must ask the question: what was the cause of it?
No, you can't tell me what I must ask. I've already asked.
No, but you're the one who's saying, guys, look at this picture. What do you make of it?
Yes, what do you make of it? And then you make what you make of it.
Can we have a look at it?
Sure. You're allowed. He says he makes nothing of it. He's well within his right to make nothing of it.
And I fully agree. All I want to understand is, I mean, you've got the picture in your hand. Maybe you can then tell us where this was, what time.
I can verify for you. What I did ask him in the end, I don't know if I should redirect my question into you, but is that do a lot of your buses catch fire? That was my bottom line, to say, even if he said he makes zero of that, at the end of the day...
be the question.
No, like I'm saying, I disagree with what you're saying. I don't think you can tell me what to ask. But I'm saying, does it happen
We're
that
having
a lot of your
conversation.
buses...
I think we're having a conversation, right? And the
No, it's fine. Look, I mean,
the conversation we're trying to have is to say, how do we provide a better service?
Look, I think
question,
that's your guys' prerogative. You know, I don't do the PR for Putco.
It's not PR. You saying to me, here's a picture, what do you make of it? I'm saying, I see a picture, but can you give me context?
You know, I think we're sitting here, we're running a lot of denials and things happen once, and
This is the first time I'm interjecting because I'm questioning your line of question around the picture. So I can see what's happening. I'm asking
I think you said that I can see that there's a bus on fire, but what are you saying?
But I'm asking you to give me some intel. Where was this? What time?
No,
What
I'm
happened?
saying, can I get back to you on that?
Great, please do.
You know?
Yeah.
Sure.
Can I just say a small thing? The assumption I was getting as you were showing him was that Putco buses in big numbers go through this kind of, that's what I was hearing as you were asking what you make out of this. Now, you are putting him in a corner because he knows that is not the situation. It does happen because you have a bus that is on fire. We do not know the circumstances surrounding that fire. But what Sepo is saying, if you had given maybe, without telling you what questions to ask, to assist him to understand that you are not saying by seeing this one bus that is on fire, the conclusion is that all the buses that you see on the road are at risk of catching fire like this bus. I think that is where the problem.
Then I then said to him, Baba, does it happen a lot that your buses catch fire?
I was expecting him to say it doesn't happen.
No, but I'm saying to him, I provided him the platform to say, does this happen to a lot of your buses?
Yes.
And I'm getting the feeling that this is something that happens a lot because we're now expanding on this and you guys are interjecting. So I'm still not clear whether it happens a lot or not.
I was trying to answer that which says it happens, but it doesn't happen a lot.
We have a regular maintenance that we're maintaining. If you're talking about broken windows, if one has to say it's vandalism, buses in the township are being vandalized, kids are throwing stones, we are replacing windows. A number of times it happens, especially now it's happening more. The second one, when you say our buses are breaking on the road, you may find a bus that you think it's broken on the road because it's standing. The standing does not mean that the bus is broken. Our bus, as you say, some of them are old. Yes, we've got old buses and new buses, the double XL buses. Very sensitive. When a bus is driven and you find that it has to do with maybe the overheating side or the cooling system side, immediately it has a system where it will stop for safety. So a driver will pull off the road and stop until he gets a mechanic to look at it. Doesn't mean that it's a breakdown all the time. It's for safety.
Understand, but it may be for safety, but I think that bus, if that bus is unable to transport me from my house to my work, and I'm inside that bus is stuck.
Yes, if you look at it between February and May, yes, a number of breakdowns were there. If you look at June, we have improved a lot. It has reduced a number of them. We have reduced breakdowns. I'm sure your customers, our customers will tell you to say there's improvement.
Among the mapasa kaphatka ayiwele imvula mayinet aba waterfall abantu bavula ama-umbrella ngaphakathi ebhasini. Iwindow mangabe liphukile kwaPhutco alireplace kufakwa izenke livale bese ibhasi lijiye kube ipanel van. Nento le isho ukuthi ibhasi alisekho safe ngoba mangathiwa liyasha ngoba ihlala esha njalo. Abantu bodinga bashele ngaphakathi bengakwazi ukuphopha because liphopha rivithelwe lisealed manje liwindow lelo sekuyizenke lingaphinde livule. Kube amabhasi angcolile, amabhasi awasageza wasathanyela. Into ishiye lapha izolo uyoyithola lapho nakusasa mangaba kekho umuntu oyicoshile. Ama-breakdown, ibhasi liphuma nge-gate leaf, lingene workshop, liphume nje nge-gate leaf. Ibhasi ali-complete i-trip lingafanga. Kunamabhasi kwazi ukuthi nje lelo nje hayi umsebenzi walo. Uma ungahamba nje manje ngo-N1 uyobona amablomu ku-orange endleleni.
The operations manager seemed baffled when I asked him to address the overloading on their buses.
Can you address overloading on the buses?
In which manner?
Buses are, what can you, the buses are full. The buses, they always, this again, I've got footage of this that I'm going to use in the program, and so I would like you to speak frankly, so because if you say that it doesn't happen, and we've got footage of these buses that are filled so much so that the door can't even close, can you talk to us about that?
As you were saying earlier on, if you have found that for whatever reason on that particular day, days may not be the same in operation. If you know of a vehicle, it may not be the same every day. Even if you're servicing it and doing everything, but you still pick up some challenges or defects. It may happen, and in some other areas where your bus is overloaded. But according to our stats, it doesn't show that much of the overload. What it shows to us, remember, if you look at the number of buses in Soweto, if you've been there in different days when things are better, normal, you find that our buses are seated. I'm talking about the 80-seater, they are seated. Once a person stands in a bus, he claims that it's overloaded. They want to sit. It's a fact. They all want to sit, but you find that there's a standing. A bus is allowed to stand 25 to 28 passengers. And if that one is still within the loading capacity, yes, sometimes you pick up an overloaded bus because there was a breakdown. If there's a breakdown, our drivers stop on the side to assist passengers that have to continue with the journey. It does happen at times. I would not say that sometimes it doesn't happen to overload a bus, but there will be a reason at that time.
I was speaking not in times of a crisis, perhaps, not in times when something has gone wrong. I'm saying just a normal bus ride, not in times when there's been a bus that has been stuck and therefore people have to be loaded. I'm talking about when the capacity is breached, when there are people seated, have filled all the seats, and when the people that are standing can't even suffice for the door to close. The safety concerns there, is this what you guys want to do? Is this the service that Putco wants to give their people? I think that's the direction I want us to go.
Okay. If it is a normal one, a driver is supposed to close the door when he has loaded enough. But because of our customers needing to go to work and wait for another bus, it's possible that they force their hand. Remember, a driver is not a policeman. He cannot go out and push them to say, stand and so on. He will try and tell them to close the door where he can. Some they get inside, some and sometimes not. So overload, it happens at times, but it's not a usual thing that we have. Another factor that when we apply for additional trips or extended route, there is no extension of route currently. So we're working with government to look at different areas. It's not everywhere that it can be overloaded because of the factories in the area or the suburb that have happened to grow certain things. We're looking at introducing additional trips. So we have to apply to get an additional trip.
I told him that commuters allege that Putco's buses are not reliable, and this is what he had to say.
And it's because one of the reasons is I've mentioned to you that funding is a challenge. There are some other buses that are not operating. Funding.
Funding for?
For the operation.
So Putco ainamali?
I don't ainamali. Funding is a fund by government. But in terms of the funding, if you look at it, my escalation that we're supposed to be paid from 2009 to now, it has been under the normal escalation. It's only this year, which is 2016, that at least the escalation is close to inflation.
Okay. So government, what percentage of subsidy do they give you guys?
I'm not going to talk about the percentage now, but I'm saying that they're not giving us the correct escalation. It's only this year that is closer to inflation. We acknowledge that we've got challenges, as I'm saying it, from 2009. If you look at it, yes, and we've been working on with government on this matter. We've been discussing with them, so I'm sure they are working out something out of it.
When you say you're sure government is working out something, do you have word from them if they say to you, yes, we are on that, or more to you're sure? What are you basing that on?
If I say I'm sure, I'm saying it. If I've been reporting and you know that you've been paying me less than the escalation that you're supposed to, surely you are working something on it. It might be finance from your side, but it has an impact on me because I'm supposed to render a proper service.
Passengers complain that because the bus is unreliable, they are forced to pay for taxis even though they've already paid for bus tags.
I'm not sure ukuthi ma-2 bus ayifikanga bese kutholakala ukuthi they have to pop up cash. We have buses from Bramfisherville. We've got a feeder service that runs to Penville. Bagibeli ibhasi elilandelayo mfowethu. Kunamabhasi laphaya uma ugibelile ungagibelanga ibhasi amabhasi okuqala wethu aya-operate. I'm saying the very early trips aya-operate. If ungaba ne-challenge ungaba ne-challenge kumabhasi later because you are using them. As you use them, they go to town, some of them to the suburbs and come back with a return trip, of which you find the return trip yakho ibe ne-challenge because of accidents on the road. It can be ukuthi izokhoza ukuthi ube late. Not all the time. It can happen. So amabhasi wethu awontenza one trip only in the morning. You can do 2 trips in the morning.
Ibhasi eli-1 lenza ama-shift awu-4 ngelanga. Ibhasi ukuthi kumele ngabe lenza i-shift eyi-1 lenza 4 ngelanga, and i-shift yokuqala yiyo ezoba right on time. The second one seli-late, the third one i-late, the fourth one i-late. The fourth one yilawa ekumele asuke kuma-starting point ngabo-7. Uhlangana nayo lisaya starting point ngabo-past 8 lisayoqala. Isimo siyabheda hayi kancane.
I'm saying for a fact that people wait at those bus stops at Dobsonville until they have to go inside Putcoville and go fight with those people there babaceli bus. I don't know if you are aware of that situation.
We are aware with sometimes again ukuthi mhlawumbe ibhasi lingabanga khona ngesikhathi lelo balishoyo kungenzeka lokho bazofuna eDepo balifuna ibhasi eDepo ukuthi balithole.
Is that correct? Is that ideal?
It's not supposed to be.
It's something that happens to people every day.
It's okay. I wouldn't agree to say it's happening every day, but
would you say once a week? Is that okay, even if it happens once a week?
I agree with you. I'm saying it's not supposed to be that way.
It is been that way, Baba.
But abanye babo they're used to it. Ukuthi bayafuna ukuyilanda ibhasi eDepo.
Why do buses go on leave when the driver goes on leave?
We agree that the bus doesn't take leave. We maximize the utilization of a bus. We have a number of drivers. We have enough drivers, spare drivers, to take care of that. But that does not mean that it cannot happen in some other days. I know you're taking it leave. Even sick is a leave. So if somebody is sick, sometimes it doesn't inform us in time to say I'll be sick tomorrow. And it doesn't happen that way. You may be 5 or 10 minutes later because of that instance. We have spare drivers. You're waiting for the driver to sign on. When it doesn't pitch, you take another one, and it will have that variance, but it shouldn't be happening on the following day.
Brought to you by SABC News, Africa's news leader.